How's it going?
Good.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are
Doing
you?
good. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable.
All right.
How was your day so far? The drive over here and all that.
It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm not looking forward to it getting colder, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed the 70.
the last week
yes.
of 70s. And
yes, that was awesome.
I agree with that. I'm not used to the cold, so.
Yeah, after Christmas, I'm just like ready for it to be summery.
Yeah, ready for that humidity to come back and.
Well, no, not the humidity, but the warm weather.
The warmth. Going to the beach and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's start with, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
You know, where you came from, what you do, all that.
Okay. I work for an event management company.
Okay.
We put on cycling and running events. So that's out of Charlotte. It's a part-time job. My cousin is like the part owner of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have another job too that's also part-time, and it's like a online cycling clothes company. So
okay.
I just that's in Salisbury. So I just put up cycling products on the website, and then when people buy stuff on the website, I find it in the warehouse. It's like a little warehouse, and then I ship it to them. So that's kind of what I do.
Do you do cycling? Are you into
No. My cousin, who's like the part owner of the other job that I do, he's huge into cycling, and he used to have his own company, and then we merged with this company that we are with now.
Okay.
So I've worked with him in that business for a while, so I've probably been doing it now for 5 years.
Okay.
Ever since I've been since I transferred schools. So I guess I'll get into that.
Okay.
I did undergrad. My first 2 years I did at Catawba, which I played softball there. And then I transferred to Charlotte.
What happened there? What made you transfer from?
Well, I was getting overwhelmed with school.
Okay.
So at Catawba, psychology was one of the hardest majors there. And it's a kind of a small school. It's in Salisbury. And so I tell people this because I think it's true, but it might not be. But I'm pretty sure that I was one of few, if not the only athlete in that major.
Okay.
Because I got to this one class in my sophomore year that you have to do experiments after class.
Okay.
As part of the curriculum, and I couldn't do them because I had practice. So I was failing that class, and so I told my coach or whatever, and I was like, I'm really not doing good in school, and her advice to me was to change my major. So that didn't sit with me very well, because I was like, I'm not going to be a professional softball player, so school's, I want to do what I want to do, because when I get done playing here, I'm not going to still be playing, so that didn't go well, and me and her always butted heads, so I don't know. It sucked, because I wish I would have kept going, to play all 4 years, but I'm glad I did it.
So when you went to Charlotte, you didn't go for softball, you just went for academics?
Yeah, I went for academics, and I played on the club team
at
Charlotte, because it was a D1 big university, so they had that. They didn't even have that at Catawba because it was small, but so that was a different experience. It was fun, but coming from playing at a D2 on a scholarship, the competitive level was definitely different, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it. Let's see. I have one brother. He's older. He's 28. He'll be 29 in 10 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to him then.
Yeah. See, my parents are divorced. They were divorced when I was 5, and my brother lived with my dad, and I lived with my mom.
Okay.
But
was that difficult having the separate household?
It's when I tell people that, it sounds weird, but we switched off every other weekend.
Okay.
So me and my brother would see our parents. Me and my brother would be together every weekend, and then we would just switch. So my brother would come over to my mom's one weekend, and then that next weekend I would go over to my dad's. So it's it's not like my dad wasn't not involved in my life or anything. He was very involved in my life. That's just how they decided to do it. But I mean, it was great. I had a good experience with it. Because they stayed friends and stuff. So that was nice. Like, they both came to my games, and we all went to Justin's games. My brother's Justin. So that was nice, because, like, as I started getting older, I would notice that my other friends, their experience with divorce was, like, super different. Like, their parents, like, hate each other's guts and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to get into psychology, was because of that. But,
go a little bit more into that. Why? What do you mean by that?
well, like, just the difference in divorce, like, how my experience with divorce was, like, so
Positive.
yeah, positive and stuff. And then my friends, like, their families, like, they hate each other, and, like, they can't even stand each other. So I'm just like, you know, like, what's so different? Like, what's the difference in my family and your family? Like, your parents were married just like mine were married, and you would think that for the kids, you know, I don't know,
No,
just like what I experienced was just a lot different. So it was, like, really strange.
So you kind of want to know what happens to the kids too? Why?
Yeah, like,
how...
what's so different? Like, why do you hate each other and my parents can stay civil? You know, which, I mean, I'm sure there's definitely some circumstances, like, you know, cheating and stuff like that. But I don't know. So that was kind of interesting for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, what else about me.
So you went to school in Charlotte, and did you graduate?
Yeah, I graduated at Charlotte, and now I'm getting my master's at LR for counseling.
How's that going so far?
It's going.
It's going.
It's definitely going. Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
Stressful, or?
I mean, it is, but it's not. I don't know, you kind of know, like, what you're getting into a little bit, so, but it's, I mean, I took a year off, like, I graduated Charlotte, and then took a year off to work, try to save up some money, and then went back, and everyone told me not to do that, because I wouldn't go back or whatever, but I did, so.
Yeah, you're like, look at me.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't think, really, it wasn't really that hard to get back into it, because it was only a year, so, I mean, get back into, like, the whole school mindset or whatever, it wasn't that hard.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's doing good. Obviously, my end goal, I'm looking at my end goal, you know, graduating and getting a real job and all that good stuff.
And what does a real job look like to you?
One that, like, is a salary and have benefits, and I go every day, and it's like.
So what do you want to focus on then? You mentioned the divorce, and is that what you want to go into?
Yeah, family counseling definitely is a top priority. But, you know, I don't know how it's gonna go when I get out. I don't know if, like, you know, you have to start wherever you know, get a job, and then you can, I don't know, so.
It's a little uncertainty.
Yeah,
there
so I'll really do whatever, any type of counseling.
Yeah.
That would be fine, but yeah, family counseling, I think I want to go into, just because, my brother, has, and may still have, I don't really know, a drug addiction.
Okay.
So he's been battling that for about 7 years now, I think, about that. So, I don't know, I just think the experience with that and, like, helping my family cope with that just gave me some insight to maybe, like, help other families cope, not just with addiction, but just, like, coping in general.
Yeah.
So that's kind of also what makes me want to do family counseling, because just, like, family support is just so important to me, I think, and, like, I'm super close with my family, so.
How is your brother's addiction kind of incorporated into your life and your family life? How is that difficult for your family to, and for you to kind of accept?
It definitely was, like, when it first kind of came about, because he was working for a construction company. Okay. It was, like, a commercial construction company, so he was always, like going places, 'cause they would, like, take a job, like, somewhere, and they would stay there. So, like, we didn't really see him a lot. Okay. So then when he came back and we did see him, it was just, like, it was so obvious. Yeah.
You could tell he was different.
Yeah, for sure. And he was, like, skinny and just totally weird. And, so, but just, like, not seeing him all the time, I don't know.
Was it hard on you, or?
It was kind of like it was easy to put off because I didn't see him.
Mm.
You know, it was like one of those things that it's there, but it's not there because it's not right in front of me.
Yeah.
So, like, for a while, that's kind of like how I dealt with it personally. But then when that job started, like, I don't know the word, like, going downhill, like, he didn't work as much and, like, they didn't have as much jobs, and I don't know. I don't really even know what happened with it, but he wasn't working as much, so he was around more. And so then I was in college at this time, so, like, now I was away. Mm-hmm. So it was like
kind of always avoiding that problem.
Yeah, it was kind of like he was like my brother like went away for 7 years.
Yeah.
And like, you know, but like my mom and dad had very two different coping styles with it. My mom obviously was like the nurturer, you know, give him a place to stay, you know, when he comes back from work and doesn't have anywhere to stay.
Yeah.
I don't really think he even had like a real house when he was doing his job because they are always at jobs and staying places. So when he came home on the weekends, he would just find a friend's house to, you know, stay at for the weekend till the next week when he went back to work. Mm-hmm. So I don't really even think he had a house for a while.
Yeah.
So like sometimes he would stay at my mom's and like, but my dad was like complete opposite. Like he wasn't allowed at the house. Like he could come over, but dad had to be there and he wasn't spending the night. Like, cause dad was just kind of like I'm not going to enable him kind of thing. And mom was like the super nurturer. Like, you can't just leave him out on the street. He's your son, blah, blah, blah. So, like, being in the middle of that was super hard on me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I understood, like, where they were both coming from. Like, me being a female, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I really think it does. Just, like, kind of siding with my mom. Like, the whole, like, well, if I don't let him stay here, he's going to sleep out on the street.
Yeah.
But then again, I also, like, feel my dad because if we give him a place to stay, then we're just enabling him. Like, it's just another place where he's going to feel comfortable and he's going to do drugs there, obviously. I mean, you can't just not. And then, so, like, I get where they were both coming from, and then, like, being in the middle of that, like, I was just, like, I never really, like, knew the right things to say, but.
So dealing with that, plus all your own stresses at school, it must have been really difficult?
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, we still deal with it till this day, because, I mean, I guess you never really know.
Yeah.
I mean, you do know, because, like, he's definitely different, because he went to rehab twice.
Okay.
So that was 3 years ago, I think.
Okay.
It was the first time he went. And then he relapsed very quickly after the first time he went.
Yeah.
And then went back. And then since then, so that was, like, 2 years ago since the second one. Mm-hmm. He's supposedly supposed to be clean, but I don't know.
You don't sound very sure on that.
I mean, he's still kind of weird sometimes, like, but.
Are you close with him, or?
Yeah, we're pretty close now. He, when I graduated at Charlotte, I moved back in with my dad to try to save some money. And at that time, Justin was living with my dad, too.
Okay.
So we lived together, for maybe like 5 months, because then Justin he knew this girl already. It was an ex-girlfriend from the past, but he started a thing with her again, and so then he started like staying with her all the time, and then eventually they moved into a house together with her 2 kids. So now I don't see him as much as I did, like, when he lived at the house, obviously. But he also works with me in one of my part-time jobs.
Okay.
So, so I see him pretty regularly when we, like, work together and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we're pretty close. He tells me a lot of things, and I tell him a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would say we are pretty close, sure.
It's getting better,
Yeah, it's definitely better. Like, it's like I have my brother back, but it's still kind of like I have to keep my guard up a little bit and like just be aware that it could down spiral, you know.
Yeah.
He could go back just like this.
And what would that look like? What would that affect you in a way?
I guess it would just be disappointing. With being like in counseling, it's helped me a little bit because it's helped me kind of try to understand that I'm not going to be able to understand him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's a disease, and so unless like you've kind of been in it, you just don't understand them. But I don't know, I guess I would just be disappointed in that he didn't find a reason enough to not do it. Like, if it's not for him, like, not for Holly, which is his girlfriend, her 2 kids, me, dad, mom, like, all these, like, support people and people that love him. If he couldn't do it for himself, why couldn't he do it for us? Like, that's just the disappointment where it'd come for me, is you have all these people that love you and want to help you. Yeah. Why can you not see that? Like, why do you want to keep doing this? But I guess if I just keep asking myself that, then I'm driving myself crazy because I'm never going to understand. So
like, why aren't you good enough for him to your family?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's always going to be something we battle.
Yeah.
I guess our whole lives, because they say addiction's like for life. Really, it's like a lifelong battle. So.
Yeah. So it sounds like you got your school and your brother now and all that stuff. What other kind of things or stressors are going on in your life that are really
well, a big stressor in my life right now is my girlfriend in June, so it's been probably like 6 to 7 months. She adopted her niece, who was 12, like the worst years of a girl's life.
Yes.
So she adopted her. Well, kind of adopted her. She's her legal guardian. It's like a year at a time thing. And her sister also is a drug addict, so me and her have that in common. But her niece she got her in June, like I said. She's just very jealous of me, and my girlfriend's name is Leanne. She's just very jealous of us. Like, if we even do anything like close to like, what's the word? Like touchy-feely. What's that word?
Affection.
Yes, affection. Exactly. That's what I was looking for. If we do any type of that, she's just like, she'll comment on it, be like, ew, gross, or like, I don't know, like something just to that effect. And she like, one example recently was, I came over after work and I'd been working an event all day, and I went and got a movie for all of us to watch, because it wasn't a kid movie, but it was like that Pettigrews for Peculiar Children or something like that. Just something that like was interesting for all of us to watch, not just me and Leanne. I would include Chloe. Chloe's a 12-year-old.
Okay.
And like, so we were fine, and Chloe was like, I want to watch it in the bed, because like she has a huge screen TV in her room, and like we can all fit in her bed because it's a king bed. And we're like, okay, great, that's awesome. So like we made dinner, ate together, like everything was fine. We started watching the movie, everything was fine. Like 20 minutes into the movie, she just starts bawling out crying. And so like, that's not, she does that all the time. She's just like such a drama queen. And so like, of course, like, Leanne's like, what's wrong? And, like, she doesn't say anything. She just rolls over and just cries. And so we're just like, okay. And then she gets up and is like, I'm going in my room. So, like, she goes in her room, and, like, we finish the movie. And so Leanne goes and talks to her after the movie or whatever. Is in there forever. And she comes back, and, like, she tells me that she feels like that when I'm there, Leanne doesn't pay attention to her, and I don't know.
Competing for the attention.
And like it's been like that for a really long time. Like me and Leanne were together when she got Chloe.
Yeah.
So it's not like Chloe and her were in the same house and then I come along.
Yeah.
Like it's been me and her in there, which we don't live together. Me and Leanne don't live together, but I was just saying, like, me and her were together when Chloe came in the picture. So, like, at first, like, the first couple months of us dating, like, with Chloe, and all of these things were happening, like, I got it. I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, like, because she came through 2 foster families before she got to Leanne.
Okay.
So, like, her mom went through boyfriends and all that good stuff. So, like, I get it, like, mentally. Like, the kid's been through a lot. Like, she doesn't want me to, like, steal the attention away from, like, what she goes to Leanne and like all that good stuff. Like I got it. So like the first couple months, I was like, okay, I can deal with this. Like that's totally normal.
Yeah.
And then
first couple months.
Yeah, now we've been together for like 6 months, and so it's like.
How is it affecting your relationship
With Leanne?
Is it struggling or?
It actually is not too bad because we're really good at communication, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard on both of us individually, really. Okay. So like our relationship is solid. Like we're pretty great together because the communication thing. But like the disrespect that Chloe gives, like in general to me and Leanne, like is just like. It just sucks. It's just like I don't know. It just feels like something that I shouldn't be having to go through right now at 23 years old. Like, So I don't know. I took on a huge responsibility, and now I feel like I've like bit off way too much.
Yeah.
But I've also invested way too much time and like feelings and stuff into not only Leanne but Chloe as well. I mean, like me and Chloe don't have a bad relationship at all. When it's just me and Chloe, we are like. Awesome.
Really good.
Yeah, like she loves me, loves me. But like when we get all three together, like, and it's only sometimes, like it's not all the time, but it's like probably like 60 to 70% of the time she throws tantrums, just like out of the blue. Yeah. But like when her friends are over, and me and Leanne do the same things we would do when it's just Chloe, nothing.
Doesn't care.
So it's just like, all right, are you just being an asshole? Sorry, but like, are you just being You know, like, or are you really, like, struggling with this? You know, because, like, if it was something that she was really struggling with, like if it's, like, the whole gay part, then, like, okay, like, let's talk about that. Don't just be, like, a little brat about it. Or if it is, like, I feel like you're taking her away from me, just, like, you know, like.
Have you guys tried to talk to Chloe about this?
Leanne talks to Chloe. I have never talked to Chloe.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's maybe something that I could consider.
So you said it feels like you've bit off more than you can chew. Is that something that you're like willing to kind of work through, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you said you feel like you've invested a lot of time, but you also bit off more than you can chew. So kind of struggling with that right now. It looks like kind of an ultimatum, not an ultimatum, but balancing back and forth.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out, I don't know, how to better fit Chloe, I guess. I don't know. I mean, and I also don't want to, like, our relationship to be controlled by a 12-year-old either. Yeah. You know, like, we are the adults in the situation. But, I mean, I don't want to be, like, an asshole to her either, you know? Because, like, she's 12. She's 12. Like, she can really scar her life. Like, so, like, it's just a lot. Okay. 23, wasn't really, like, expecting to be raising a 12-year-old, so.
So that sounds like that's kind of something that's really weighing on your heart right now, and you're kind of struggling with, but you're happy in your relationship, but this
for sure.
3-part relationship isn't working out to the best of its abilities, so.
Right.
All right, well, I mean, I think that's a good start for today.
Okay.
I say we definitely jump back into that next session, and we'll figure out what's going on with that, and see kind of where you want to go, what you want to do within this counseling relationship, and your goals and all that. So, alrighty, well, it's good meeting you.
Good meeting you.
All right.